We can build $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, $700,000 business, but do we know how to build a multi-million-dollar business? Getting the guidance doesn't have to just look like hiring a coach. There's lots of different ways for you to get that guidance. Building that habit in the 30 days, that is absolutely invaluable, because that will be the propeller that creates that influx of people that want to work with you. The big thing is that you have to have a habit around talking about that offer so that you build up momentum. You'll have more and more people in your DMs, people sending you messages. What would set you up for success? And really making sure that you choose the kind of environment where you'll be most successful. In order for us to get to the level that we aspire to be in our business, we need to 5 crucial things that you have to get right in your business right away. Number 1, the first, foremost, most important thing is you have to figure out what the bottlenecks are in your business. This is critical because this will make or break your ability to be successful, because if you're solving problems but you're not solving the right problems, you're still not going to get the result that you're seeking in the business. So how do you figure out what those business bottlenecks are? There are 3 core areas where business bottlenecks will show up. The first one is that you don't have enough clients coming in, enough leads coming in. So that is bottleneck number 1. Bottleneck number 2 that will come up is that you are not converting enough of those leads. So that's bottleneck number 2 is conversion. And bottleneck number 3 is around operations and fulfillment. So your operations and fulfillment aren't being delivered in an effective and efficient way. So most important thing that we took away from that is we have to figure out which one of those bottlenecks is currently slowing down the business. So if you're experiencing any time in the business, whether you're in a period of great success or a period of growth, and you want things to improve in the business, you always have an opportunity to make the business grow faster and bigger by identifying what bottleneck you are currently experiencing, because no matter where you're at in the course of your business, there's always going to be a bottleneck. Typically, what I see is for people who are in earlier stages of their business, it's going to be that first one of actually bringing leads into the business is generally the number 1 bottleneck. And so that's where the attention needs to be at. How do we create more leads? How do we build more audience, a bigger audience? How do we increase the amount of trust that we have with that audience through nurturing? And then how do we talk about what we do to our audience in a way that is compelling? So that is that piece of building the audience and talking about what you do in a way that's compelling so that you can build trust with your audience. That's what we're going to be talking about inside of Captivate. So if any of you are interested in getting some support with that, of learning how to build that trust with your audience and moving them towards becoming solid leads that want to work with you, just feel free to leave a comment here on this video. It says Captivate, and we will send you more details on that. It's our 30-day live course that I'm going to be leading next month. In pretty much a month from now, I'll be leading that. And we take you through that exact process of how do you grow the audience, how do you build trust with that audience, and how do you talk about what you do in a compelling way. All right, number 2, the second thing that the crucial thing you have to get right in your business is getting the right people in the right roles. And I know many of you are solopreneurs, so you're like, I don't have a team right now, so it doesn't really apply to me, but it does 100% apply to you. And I want to tell you how and why. So getting the right people in the right roles often for somebody who is a solopreneur means understanding what's in your zone of genius and understanding what's not, because there's probably things that are happening in the business, things that you're trying to do yourself that are actually slowing down the overall growth of your business because they're not in your zone of genius. They're not things that are actually using your talents, your gifts, your energy, and your attention effectively. And so the opportunity then is to figure out how can you outsource those things to get more help so that you can focus your time and energy on the things that will move the needle for your business. So getting the right people into the right roles means also understanding what's the role you should be in your business. Number 1 things that you should be focused on are sales and marketing, because those are the things that drive leads and then drive cash into the business. But besides that, there's lots of other things that need to be happening in the business, whether that's administrative things, financial things, building a website, all of those. Like, does it really make sense for you to spend time building your website? I know I've made this mistake many times. Let me know in the comments if anyone else has made the mistake of trying to build a website for themselves and then realizing it's not in your zone of genius. It's not even in your zone of excellence. Like you're struggling through trying to build a website, or you're trying to use some kind of new tech tool or technology, and you're getting frustrated. You're spending hours and hours on trying to figure out how to do something. If you can feel me, please just drop a comment or an emoji on this video that you have been there as well. Because I think many of us have had that experience where you're just like, I can just figure it out. And this is a crucial thing that you have to get right, is not just trying to figure everything out for yourself. In terms of figuring it out, often may mean finding somebody who can support you with this, finding somebody who can implement for you on your behalf. That's really your role as the CEO in your business, is finding that kind of support, whether that's just like going on Fiverr or finding, somebody online that can help support you around those things, getting an assistant. Those are the pieces that are really, really important, is getting those specialists when it doesn't make sense for you. And that was important for Isaac and I, was understanding our roles. Like, my role is I'm really great with marketing. I'm really great when coming up with ideas. I'm really great with creating the vision. The things I'm not great at, though, I'm not great when it comes to creating systems, not great when it comes to seeing things through from start to finish, understanding all the small little things that need to happen. That is not my strong suit. And so taking me out of those kinds of pieces of the business will actually allow the business to grow much bigger, much faster when I'm not trying to do those things. All right, number 3, the third thing that is absolutely crucial for you to get right is that communication is everything. Communication is so key. And so for Isaac and I, that shows up in communication between us as business partners. It also shows up in communication with the people that we outsource and ask to support us in our business, making sure that we're communicating effectively. And this is really a skill that we're continuing to work on. This is something that probably comes up the most and the hardest, is figuring out the communication piece. How do we communicate in a way where we can get what we want, we can set expectations, that we are feeling heard and understood, that the person that we're interacting with feels positive about that experience, and that we can be able to create the ultimate result that we want. And that is something that's still a challenge that we're working through, is like, okay, we've been life partners, but we haven't been business partners in the past. So how do we do that effectively? And that will touch not only you if you have a business partner, but if there's anyone that's supporting you in your business, as well as your clients. How do you make sure that you're communicating effectively with your clients so that they're getting the most out of the relationship that they have with you? Number 4, the fourth crucial thing that's really, really important to get right is that sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. This is one of the ones that's the most frustrating, is this idea of slowing down to speed up, because I'm the kind of person who's like, I like to go fast. I want to go fast all the time. Let me know, are you like a person who's like, I want to go fast, I want like results yesterday? Like whenever you see a project, something on the to-do list, the only thing you want to do is hit that little check box of being able to say, I did this, I did it, it's done. Being able to really blaze through activities and actions and implementation, that has always been something that I enjoy and I pride myself on, is like, okay, somebody gives me a task, it's done, I got it. And so that has been my mentality and my desire to run my business in a way where feels like things are happening quickly. I'm not only producing something quickly, but then I can get to a result much quicker. And the issue is that sometimes in my experience, moving quickly and moving fast and breaking things it doesn't always work. Sometimes you really truly have to slow down. You have to do things like create systems. You have to slow down, and you have to be able to work through what is the real hypothesis of how we're going to do this, and how do we do this in a way that's very strategic instead of just trying to throw everything at the wall. How do we use data to make really informed decisions about what the next step is that we're going to take? And that is really the next step in business and actually creating something that's a business versus just a job that you have that you own. And we don't want it to just be a job that you own. We want it to be a business where you actually have systems in place. You're actually relying on understanding what works and using the data in order to inform the decisions that you're making. But in order for you to do that, you have to slow down. You have to actually collect that data. So for instance, with our Facebook community, I would do things in the Facebook community and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to try this. This sounds really good. And I would try something and then sometimes it would be super successful. Oh, that was awesome. Cool. And then I move on to the next thing. I'm like, I'm going to try this. And then, oh, that thing didn't work. And then I would move on and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this. Oh, cool. That was really successful. But I wasn't slowing down and working with enough strategy to be like, okay, let's slow down, look at all the things that we've done over the past, month or 3 months or 6 months and really examine what's working versus just going off of that initial, oh yes, it worked and these are how many sales we got. That was probably the depth of data that I was really collecting. And so instead of just saying like, yes, it worked, I got clients from it, it was a good tactic, sitting down and say like, okay, well, what kinds of clients did I get? Did I get people that were super ideal clients? And how many of those clients did I get? And then what did they buy? And then from there, did they ascend on to purchase other things? And what was the amount of energy that I had to put in for that output? Did that feel like that was the right kind of payoff, the amount that I input to the amount of output that I got? And then what was in between that? Like what were some of the things that I was doing that were working effectively? Because it's not necessarily the overall entire strategy that works. There may have been micro actions that were taken throughout that particular tactic that made it more effective. And then looking back at the times when it wasn't effective, maybe some of those micro actions were missing and there's an opportunity to make that other tactic more effective and successful. So those are all things that it's really important to take the time to do. And so that's where slowing down to speed up is really, really useful and critical, because if you don't take the time to understand that, you're going to keep doing action. And that leads to the burnout, which ultimately is the biggest slowdown in your entire business, is when you're burnt out and you're doing nothing. So if you can slow down enough to get the data, then you can figure out, okay, this is really what works, double down on that. And that's where the speed up happens. And so this is what we've been working on behind the scenes in our business, is how do we slow down to speed up? How do we look at the data? How do we get better understanding on what's really working and look not just at the surface level data, but some of those deeper levels of information that would make us more effective? And the fifth and final thing that you have to address in your business is identifying the guidance that you need and getting that guidance that you need, whether that comes in the form of a coach, or it comes in the form of a book, or it comes in the form of a consultant coming in. We're sitting in Cancun. We were there for a networking event, and I had also at the same time signed up for another training. And I don't know, I was like, this is like I told you, my problem is like, I'm like, I want to go fast. So like signed up for everything on top of each other. I'm working on that. But I was like, I want to go fast. So I signed up for this other training, and I'm sitting in the middle of that training in the evenings after going to the networking event during the day. And as I'm on this training, like the person who was leading the training, we had already been kind of talking back and forth on whether or not we thought that they might be someone we'd want to invest in working with. And as I was there, I bought the VIP level to do a Q&A with that coach. And the things he was saying, the way that he just was talking about the business and his overall just approach just really resonated with both Isaac and I. And so in that moment, I was like, okay, we are really understanding that in order for us to get to the level that we aspire to be in our business, where we don't have the tools and the knowledge and the visibility into what's not working and what we need to change in order for us to get there. We're really good at building a multi-six-figure business. We can build $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, $700,000 business, but do we know how to build a multi-million-dollar business? no, we don't know how to do that yet. We need to hire somebody who knows how to build a multi-million-dollar business in order for us to be able to get there and understand what it is that we're not seeing and where the opportunities are. And so that was when we decided that we had to get the guidance that we were missing. So that was number 5. I just had a call with one of my clients, and she is a CFO, and she comes into people's businesses and she does fractional CFO, and she's a profitability expert. So she comes into people's businesses and is like, okay, let's get your numbers straight and also identify where is the opportunity for us to increase your profitability. So you may not understand how to increase your profitability. Her name's Kelly. You may need somebody like Kelly to come in and say, this is where the opportunity is for you to increase your profitability. Or it could be someone like Isaac who comes in and tells you, okay, this is what you need to do in your sales process in order for you to convert at a higher level. Or it could be someone like me who comes in and says, hey, this is what you need to say in your messaging in order for you to be able to attract more of the right kinds of people. So you have to understand what it is that you're missing. I hire people very frequently to fill those gaps of guidance. I read tons of books. I listen to podcasts. Getting the guidance doesn't have to just look like hiring a coach. There's lots of different ways for you to get that guidance. I think that the key thing to understand is where you are in terms of your ability to invest with somebody, 2, understanding where you are in level of your commitment, like your ability to stay accountable to the thing that you say you're going to do, because certain things are going to be much more difficult when you don't have an accountability. Have somebody to hold you accountable for that. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to make a commitment to writing content every day. Okay, you can say you're going to make that commitment. Maybe you're reading a book or you're following a podcast or something like that to help you write every day. But if you get into a container where you're surrounded by other people who are writing frequently and you have somebody who's guiding you on what to write, then you're that much more likely to actually implement. So that's the other thing to understand is what would set you up for success, and really making sure that you choose the kind of environment where you'll be most successful. If that's a book, then you can be successful with a book and journaling and those kinds of things. But if you need the accountability of somebody being there with you and a community to guide you, then definitely make sure that you get that kind of a container. So that's just what I wanted to leave you with. And of course, let you know, you can come join us in Captivate if that is the kind of container that would support you with writing content, messaging appropriately, talking about what it is that you do in a way that's compelling and that will attract more of those 4-figure and 5-figure clients that you want to work with. That's specifically what we're focused on there, is for people who have offers that are 4 figures and 5 figures and above, and they want to know, how do I talk about that online or in my messaging in a way that will make people really connect to what it is that I do, and that you can build the habit that you need to continuously be talking about your offer in an effective way. Because that's the big thing, is that you have to have a habit around talking about that offer so that you build up momentum. It will happen, like with time, through being consistent, that you'll have more and more people in your DMs, people sending you messages, people in your comments like, hey, tell me more about this. I want to hear more about that. What's going on here? That is definitely possible and doable, and it can happen within the 30 days. I've had many clients who have found opportunities just within that 30 days, but it also, even if it doesn't happen in that 30 days, building that habit in the 30 days, that is absolutely invaluable, because that will be the propeller that creates that influx of people that want to work with you, and really having that lead generation that you need in your business, because we talked about business bottlenecks. Lead generation is crucial. All right, thanks guys.